Lil Durk's world is crumbling, his freedom slipping further with every new charge. But as the courtroom drama unfolds, one person stays steady in the storm. His girl, India Rael. Recently, footage of India outside the courthouse hit the internet, and the streets can't stop talking. Fans are watching closely, wondering will she stay down or finally walk away. India Rael shows up at Lil Durk's sentencing. Lil Durk might be in hot water, but his girl, India Rael, is still riding hard for him. After his recent arrest, India was spotted outside the courtroom, and the photos blew up. Online social media couldn't handle it, some folks calling her a real one for sticking by Durk when things got rough. Others, though, saw it differently, saying this is just what a loyal partner should do. One fan on X said a real men need that kind of woman, while another commented, she's a real one. Most would have left their man. That loyalty is rare, especially with the weight of Durk's charges hanging over them. India's been with him since 2017, and she's been there through all the highs and lows. This time, though, might be the hardest yet. Durk-born Durk Banks got booked on some heavy stuff. He's facing federal charges for allegedly plotting to murder a rival. The feds claim he planned to hit with others, leading to a shooting at a gas station near the Beverly Center in LA back in August 2022. During the shootout, a family member of the rival was hit and killed, and now the Justice Department is on his neck. Caught near Miami International Airport, Durk made his first appearance in federal court in Florida, but his real showdown will go down in LA in a few weeks. The U.S. attorney had a lot to say, calling Durk's alleged act cold-blooded and saying it endangered innocent people at a public gas station. Even the FBI threw in their 2 cents, reminding folks they're always watching. Despite all this drama, India is sticking by Durk. They're Chicago natives and have been tight since way back, going public with their relationship around 2017 through Durk's rise from collabs with Drake on Laugh, Now Cry Later, to his Grammy-nominated single All My Life with J. Cole. India's been right there. She's more than just a girlfriend. She's a mom, an influencer, and a YouTuber with a huge following of her own. India and Durk share a daughter, Willow, who was born in 2018, and India's first daughter, Skylar, is from a previous relationship for Durk. Though Skylar is family too, he's called her his own, and even joked that she schools him. In style, Willow, on the other hand, is as mini-me smart and sneaky, just like her pops. Durk has shown mad love for India over the years, even popping the question in a big way at Lollapalooza 2021, right there on stage with their kids, a crowd cheering them on. He got down on one knee and proposed. India didn't hesitate. She said yes, and the moment was all over social media. It was one of those big rap love stories you don't see too often. But like any relationship, they've had their ups and downs. In 2022, India posted about being a free agent, which had fans thinking they split. And even though Durk was showing her mad love on social media, she tweeted in early 2023 that she was very much single by the end of the year. Though she was back with Durk, flashing a ring and hinting at a wedding. They've been through a lot together, and right now they have a new addition to the family, their dog, Sage, which Durk named. But with Durk's legal issues, all that family life might have to wait. India's support isn't going unnoticed. She's got fans calling her a ride or die, the kind who stands by her man, even when the chips are down while she's out there holding it down for Durk. Someone else from Durk's past is making headlines too. The rapper's ex-wife, OTF Nicki, also known as Nicole Cavone. A photo of Durk and Cavone recently resurfaced, sparking some wild reactions online. Cavone, who was with Durk before he blew up, is the mother of 2 of his kids, Angelo and Bella. Fans were quick to show love, calling her a real one for being there when he was still on the come-up. Cavone was there before the fame, back when Durk was hustling just to pay for studio time. Some fans argue that without her support, Durk wouldn't be where he is now. These days, Cavone is doing her own thing. She's an entrepreneur and the CEO of the Credit Click, a credit repair business. And she's got over 280,000 followers on Instagram. She's come a long way from her days with Durk, and fans respect her for the foundation she helped him build with Cavone and Royale, both in the spotlight. The internet's buzzing with opinions on who's the realest. Some fans think Durk owes a lot to Cavone for holding him down in the early days. Others feel India's loyalty now, especially with his legal troubles, makes her the ultimate ride or die. The debate has gotten folks talking about loyalty, respect, and what it really means to be down for someone in the rap game. India and Kovan each played different roles in Durk's life, but they both hold a part of his story through it all. Lil Durk's life has become more than just a tale of fame and music. It's a saga filled with loyalty, love, betrayal, and resilience. He's got the kind of support that's rare in any industry, especially with someone like India still standing by him. And while Kovan might not be in the picture, now she's a part of his legacy, representing the roots that made Durk the artist. Is today India's new footage going viral is a reminder of just how deep their bond runs. She's standing strong, showing the world that she's all in despite the dark cloud hanging over Durk's future. The fans have their favorites, but there's no denying that both women have shaped Durk's life in ways that go beyond the headlines. Lil Durk's legal challenges. Lil Durk's in the hottest legal water of his career. The feds didn't just come knocking. They came crashing down with some heavy accusations, arresting him for a murder-for-hire plot tied to a long-running beef. They're saying this ain't just about music. Durk's rap collective, Only the Family OTF, is allegedly doubling as a street gang, with Durk himself running the show from the top, and the charges they're claiming he put a hit out on his rival Quando Rondo, a beef that goes all the way back to 2020. When Durk's close friend King Bao was killed, Vaughn's death changed Durk's life, and according to the feds, ignited this deadly chain of events. The FBI says Durk wasn't just angry, he allegedly wanted revenge. That revenge, they claim, led to the murder of Quando Rondo's family member Jaw Robinson, known as Lil P.A.B. in August 2022. It wasn't a street scuffle or a simple fight. The feds say it was an orchestrated ambush carried out by OTF members and funded with OTF money. This time, the feds aren't playing around. They've got a paper trail, surveillance footage, witness accounts, and even texts. The FBI affidavit lays it all out. This wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment attack, but something planned out and executed with precision, at least according to the feds. They say Durk used his resources and the people around him to pull it off, leaving trail receipts, plane tickets, and hotel stays that link straight back to his camp. The feds are claiming Durk funded the hit himself, right down to the one-way plane tickets. They've got OTF members flying from Chicago to LA the day before the murder, tickets bought with credit cards linked to Durk's people. In fact, right before the tickets were bought, Durk allegedly sent a message to his associate, warning them not to use any names tied to him on the bookings to law enforcement. That looks like he was trying to cover his tracks, making it all the more suspicious once his people got to LA. It's alleged they got the drop on Quando Rondo's. They spent hours tailing him across the city, biding their time, until he stopped at a gas station across from the Beverly Center. Surveillance footage shows the two cars. Durk's crew was driving a white BMW and a white Infiniti as they tracked Quando Rondo through the city, waiting for the right moment to make a move. The day the feds say it all went down, August 19, 2022, Quando Rondo was just trying to gas up his car. But this was no safe spot. The feds claimed Durk's crew was already on him. The footage allegedly shows Quando Rondo and his family getting surrounded at the gas station, with 3 masked gunmen stepping out of their cars and unloading on Quando Rondo's vehicle, sending 18 rounds into the car. They weren't there to scare him. They were there to finish the job. The crew didn't stick around. They jumped back in their cars and dipped, leaving the scene. According to the feds, it was coordinated down to the second, with Durk's people regrouping at an In-N-Out Burger just miles away to plan their escape. Hours later, they boarded flights back to Chicago, again using those credit cards tied to Durk and OTF. The feds say Durk was calling the shots every step of the way, and they've got the paper trail to prove it. But the biggest twist, an alleged informant right from inside OTF helped the feds piece the story together. The affidavit hints that a snitch within Durk's own crew laid out the details, naming names and connecting his money and logistics to Durk himself in the streets. Betrayal from the inside is as cold as it gets, and this snitch has supposedly cracked the case wide open, spilling how OTF operates both as a music collective and a gang. Once the feds made their move, Durk tried to run. October 24, 2024 was when the feds dropped the hammer. 5 of Durk's alleged co-conspirators were snatched up and locked down in Chicago with search warrants executed on properties tied to OTF. The moment Durk heard, he started booking flights out of the country, trying to escape before the feds came knocking first. He booked a one-way ticket from Miami to Dubai, with a layover in Doha that didn't go through, so he tried Switzerland, grabbing another one-way flight out of Fort Lauderdale. When that fell through, he made a final attempt, chartering a private jet to Italy, hoping the feds wouldn't catch on in time. But the feds were right behind him, and they grabbed him at the airport before he could leave the country. The prosecutors say all these last-minute flights show Durk knew he was in deep trouble. To them, it looks like a man on the run. The charges Durk's looking at are no joke: conspiracy to use interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, resulting in death. If he's found guilty, Durk could be facing life in prison. And it's not just about him. The feds are calling OTF more than a music label. They're calling it a criminal organization that Durk uses to fund gang activity. It's a case that isn't just about one man, it's about taking down everything he's built. Durk's been trying to stay clean in recent years, talking about second chances, and even setting up a scholarship. But with this case, all that could go up in flames if the feds get their way. This could end his career and put him behind bars for good. If Durk goes down, OTF might go down with him. His fans are holding on, hoping he'll beat the charges. But with the FBI stacking evidence, it's looking like an uphill battle. This case is a test of whether the loyalty and brotherhood that OTF was built on can survive this level of heat. Still, one of the wildest parts of Durk's case, there's word of a snitch right from inside OTF. This so-called insider supposedly gave the Fed a whole breakdown of the crew, naming key players and showing how OTF isn't just a music label, it's allegedly operating like a full-blown gang. This informant allegedly backed up the Fed's story with details on how the crew was getting money, who was handling what, and how the orders were coming straight from Durk himself. How Lil Durk was betrayed by OTF member. The streets are buzzing, and Lil Durk's recent legal drama just got even messier with his indictment. Still, fresh news has dropped about an inside rat, an OTF member who allegedly turned snitch. This ain't just some rumor. It's an OTF member known as Jam, who supposedly rocked a hidden wire for years, feeding info straight to the feds. This betrayal has hit hard because Jam isn't just any OTF affiliate. He's someone Durk stood by when he was locked up. Jam, who served 12 years for attempted murder, was released in 2022. According to sources, he came out and started singing a whole different tune. The feds claim he's been giving up dirt on Durk, linking him to a murder-for-hire plot that targeted another rapper, Tion Terrell Bowman, aka Quando Rondo. The wildest part, Jam's alleged cooperation didn't just start yesterday. Word is he's been working with the feds since he walked out of prison in 2022 after serving that 12-year sentence. He got out and went right back to OTF, acting like he was down for the team. In reality, though, he was wearing a wire, catching conversations and stacking evidence that would later blow Durk's whole operation wide open. Chicago rapper King Yella even said he heard Jam implicate Durk in the murder of Rondo's cousin Al Poap, a shooting that went down not long after Jam's release. Wise claims just added fuel to the fire, as he hinted that Jam had been working the feds' angle all along. But I heard somebody named OTF Jam. They said they've been calling him a rat, and basically he said, okay, I'm a rat. Well, watch this, that all this information that I know, rat. This, Emma tell that. Meanwhile, Jam's been caught in interviews, bigging up Durk, talking about their bond and everything they went through. But all that time, if the feds are right, he was setting Durk up. Jam's double life as an OTF member and alleged snitch has left fans wondering where his loyalty was. He did a 2023 interview with DJ Jerry, where he reminisced about the old days with saying that was bro back before the fame and the money he made away from me, to be straight. But looking back, it feels like all those words were just smoke. Jam was out here moving like he was Durk's right-hand man. But the whole time he was laying a trap. DJ Vlad even brought up Jam's betrayal on his show, where he and his guest Wack 100 broke down how the situation went. Left Wack 100 put it bluntly. He did 12 years, got out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him $50,000, made mention that ain't no smudge on his name. He ain't never been a rat, caught a gun case. But eventually he flipped Wack laid it out saying that despite everything Durk did for Jam, he still turned informant DJ Vlad dug deeper, pointing out that Jam's release from prison lined up with the time of LP's murder. Wack and Vlad both suggested Jam may have flipped on Durk not long after getting out, maybe because of new charges, maybe because he saw a chance to save himself. But whatever the reason, it's clear now that Jam's loyalty wasn't what he made it seem. This twist has rocked the hip-hop community, with fans calling Jam out for betraying Durk after all he did for him, and the story just gets deeper with each new piece of info. This isn't just some minor info Jam handed over, the feds say. Jam's betrayal was critical in piecing the case together against Durk. The indictment describes OTF as a hybrid organization, part music group, part gang, with Durk pulling the strings on both sides. Jam reportedly fed authorities enough information to back that claim up, showing how Ott's cash flow and logistics were used not just for music, but for something darker. The feds say Jam explained how flights and hotels for the hitmen were all paid for with OTF credit cards. These expenses were supposedly tied to Durk's crew, with flights from Chicago to California booked. Right before the hit on Rondo, there's even a text message that Jam supposedly shared, where Durk warned his team to avoid booking flights under his name. According to the feds, Jam's info filled in the gaps and proved that Durk's finances were part of the plot. Jam didn't just talk about money. He allegedly gave the feds a play-by-play on how Durk's crew moved around and kept tabs on Rondo. They say Jam provided details on cell phone calls between co-conspirators, laying out how Durk's people tracked Rondo's every move. This kind of inside info helped the feds get a clear picture of who was involved and how they stayed connected. The feds have a list of things that look like straight-up movie scenes: buying ski masks, renting vehicles, and even snagging automatic weapons. And guess who's suspected of tipping off the feds on these moves? Yep, Jam. His info reportedly helped strengthen the case, showing Durk's alleged crew making step-by-step preparations for the hit. Jam's cooperation painted a complete picture for the feds, giving them the ammo they needed to lock down this indictment. Without Jam's inside perspective, the feds might have had a harder time tying Durk directly to the murder plot. But now they have the details on cash flow, logistics, and even direct orders, all supposedly funneled through Jam. Jam's betrayal has left fans in the hip-hop world divided. Some are calling him the ultimate rat, saying there's nothing worse than snitching on your own family, especially when that family stood by you. Others see it as a warning for rappers mixing street loyalty with fame, suggesting this is what happens when street ties clash with the spotlight. The hip-hop community is waiting to see if Durk can somehow push back against this avalanche of evidence. But with OTF Jam's testimony, he's facing an uphill fight. What the future holds for Lil Durk, things just got a whole lot worse. For Lil Durk, after years of building up his name and his brand, the Chicago rapper's future is hanging by a thread, with new charges piling up and some big names in the city starting to pull back from supporting him. Durk's path forward is looking tougher than ever. On November 8th, the Department of Justice slapped Durk with more charges connected to that August 2022 gas station shooting in Los Angeles. These aren't small charges either. Now, Durk's staring down 3 more federal charges: conspiracy using interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, and possessing firearms, including a machine gun, in a crime resulting in death. These charges hit hard, and if Durk gets convicted, he could be looking at life in prison. This situation isn't just a bump in the road. It's a full-on detour that could take him away from music, his family, and everything he's built. This latest set of charges is serious, and it's got Durk's fans and family worried. A life sentence would mean the end of the road for Durk as a free man. It's a heavy hit for someone who went from Chicago's South Side to Grammy-winning heights, all while staying connected to his roots. But now those same roots have him wrapped up in a legal battle. He may not be able to walk away from the feds. Are saying Durk was heavily involved in a planned hit, using money and logistics from his OTF circle to make it happen, from booking flights to handling cash to being linked to firearms used in the crime. The accusations paint him as the mastermind behind the operation. It's more than just street drama. With the Department of Justice's resources and evidence, this is a battle Durk can't just fight with a good lawyer and some cash. He's up against the full weight of the federal government. And it ain't just the courts Durk's facing. Even his hometown is starting to pull away. Not long ago, the village of Broadview gave him an honorary key celebrating his work in the community. And through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, this was supposed to be a proud moment, a nod to all the ways Durk has tried to give back. But as soon as news of his recent arrest dropped, the village snatched that honor right back. Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson didn't mince words either. She put out a statement saying that, even though the U.S. legal system assumes people are innocent until proven guilty, Broadview has higher standards. In her words, our public partners must reflect the same uncompromising standards demanded by our residents. Essentially, she's saying that Durk's alleged actions don't align with what Broadview wants to stand for, and because of that, they're cutting ties. So just like that, the honorary key is gone, and their partnership with Durk's foundation is over. It's another reminder that Durk's legal trouble isn't just affecting him, it's shaking up everyone who's associated with him. Durk's impact in Chicago goes beyond music and charity. He's been a big supporter of local politicians, most recently giving $150,000 to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's political committee in June 2023. But now that he's facing federal charges, people are questioning whether the mayor should keep that donation. When asked about it, Mayor Johnson defended his decision to hold on to the money, saying he doesn't operate on feelings, but on truth and justice. He didn't sound too interested in giving it back, which has raised a few eyebrows in Johnson's eyes. He doesn't want to judge Durk before he's had his day in court, which he believes everyone deserves.